Hey, Sandra, y'all. Welcome to Scotch on the Bayou Live. I'm Leanne, not on the Bayou in Baton Rouge. And we are under some major bad weather advisories. So hopefully we'll keep the lights on for the next hour, talking about opening those bottles. These bottles, are they open? Are your bottles open? Uh, Available to be poured into a glass and enjoyed. So we're going to talk about that. And I don't want anybody thinking I'm casting stones because I am so guilty of this. This is why I wanted to do this topic tonight because I am woefully, woefully just so guilty of not opening bottles, and I am going to be telling on myself tonight and sharing with you all how bad I am at this. um and but then again, kind of percentage wise, we'll talk about that, like how much of your stash is open and how much it isn't. So I would say, and I challenge each of you, that if you're in a position where you would like to enjoy a dram tonight, go find one of your unopened, sealed bottles and join me. Pull that wrapper off, get that cork going, and enjoy something you've been putting off for a while. We're gonna try it. I've got some bottles here. We're gonna chat about which ones will open. One of which I have to open because it's just a sin that I've left it sealed this long. How's that for a teaser? Want to say hey to everyone who's in tonight. And I see Whiskey and Wine Trails, Tom. Hey, friend. Cheers. Mark is doing dog duty at the moment because Rue has had to be sedated most all the day. We had waves of bad storms and one lightning strike that hit our neighbor's water oak and literally exploded it, and it went everywhere. So just missing our place. So definitely kind of scary stuff going on right now. But yeah, so Mark's taking care of the pups at the moment. Tula's 14. She can't hear, shouldn't care. But Rue is a big old scaredy cat, 70-pound scaredy cat. So great seeing you, Tom. And I see Whiskey Nose is in. Hello, my friend. Great to have you in. Jimmy Jazz is in. Slangy y'all for sure. Daniel, how you doing up there in New York? You've been traveling a lot. I hope you're doing well. And Rob's in. Awesome. Yes. Hey, how are you? Two slows in too. That's awesome. That is fantastic. Um, Here we go. Bobby, look at you. 1,500 bottles are open here at the house for anyone to pour. If that isn't is an invitation, I don't know what is. And one of these days, Bobby, we are actually going to connect, and we will be at that same place. I really do appreciate all the info on your tastings and your bottle picks and stuff. But we'll make it happen, I promise. Definitely so. Don passes in. Hello, my friend. It's so good to see everybody. Kevin, BR Scotch, awesome. And Dustin, I know, great. Let's drink some crazy stuff. Dude, Paladura came out. You can't tell me you hadn't gone up to Andalusia yet. Yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit about this because we have so many pretty bottles, right? All these beautiful bottles, and you know that you have one too many that are still sealed, waiting maybe for that perfect moment, or what is that thing that you're waiting on? Is it something purposeful? Is it because of the type of the bottle? We're going to talk kind of and get into some of the psychology of that because I have caught myself having a couple of these situations. Well, I want to open it, but I can't because of whatever. And so we'll be talking about some of that, and and also have some ideas about having a guilt-free way to enjoy them, like embrace the opening. I'm going to do that with one of these bottles here pretty soon, that I have been putting off and putting off. I see Ian's here. That's awesome. Where did the chat go? It just went flip flip, flip. There we go. Hey, friend. Good day to see you too. I think we determined it's like 9 something in the morning. I can't do the math down there in Australia. So thanks for being on. And of course, that just told me you got the Palador. He is my Texas connection and one of my Scotch buddies for sure. Who I wish was in Louisiana more often. Um, mm. So yeah, it's a quick poll um, that I wanted to know. So I was thinking like, well, how many of your bottles are open? Out of however many bottles do you have, how many are open? And the more I thought about, let's not name numbers of bottles. I mean, Bobby can. Bobby's very proud of his 1,500 bottles and more power to you. Some of us may not want to disclose how many bottles we have. And I would say you don't have to count backup bottles because if you've got one, is it open or not? So not even really worrying about backup bottles. But what percentage of your collection, and I use that term is in the overall group of your bottles, not that you collect whiskey, but what percentage is open to sealed? I would love to know if y'all just light up the chat, light up the comments if you're watching the replay. I'd love to hear what your overall percentage is. And I have to say that I I thought I was going to be woefully bad at this until I started collecting bottles to do the show. And actually, I'm not as bad as I thought. I mean, I'm not, not super. I mean, there's still some like I think I only have one bottle that I opened from the March trip in in this March Scotland trip, the independent bottling trip. I only opened the one Tormore so far. Brought 7 home, but I've only opened one. So that's not a really good average right there. Um, and I do have a couple of ones that I bought back in 2023, that trip that I still haven't opened, and maybe one from that November too. So yeah, kind of looking at that. Tom's talking about whiskey Montreal's. About 14% is currently open. This lovely, love the precision. Typically open 3 to 4 a month with your tasting group. Okay, so then you have a purpose, right? You have another group of people to share that with, and you're looking for something new. You might go to your sample box. I mean, samples, y'all know, they're a whole nother thing. I've got drawers and cabinets full of samples, but that's a great example. So 14% is great. Um, let's all wish Walton a happy birthday. That's Kevin's BR Scotch's little boy, a whole 1 year old. Goodness gracious, he sure is. I can't believe it. So that's a nice way to celebrate Walton's birthday. Rob, 75% plus open. That's impressive. Very impressive. Ian, about the same, 70%. Yeah. Okay. Um, and I love this from Daniel that your collection is that you buy the bottle and you drink it. So you're not even sure you can come up with. I mean, you go through it. So that's fantastic. Um, I know, Kevin, you definitely open it. You buy it, you open it. Sometimes it's probably open before you get home with the way you and your buddy swap bottles and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, don't worry about duplicates or backups. It's just the ones that you really do. Um, so Bobby, that is amazing. So you do have a fellow member of the Mississippi Sippers Club that has 6,000. 6,000. That's 6K, folks, plus bottles, many sealed and signed and involved. Yeah. I mean, and so there's kind of a different echelon of some that we'll talk about. And I mean, I can totally get that. Totally get that. Um, Alexa says, I have a bottle of Glenfarclas 15 Remy Ridge commemorative bottle. Again, you're talking really like specific high, high end or high um, nostalgic, right? Your grandfather was in the Navy and you bought it in his honor. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I, I totally get it. But there's gonna be one situation where you'll go ahead and crack it at some point. It hasn't made itself known to you yet, but that's definitely where it's going to be. Um, so Daniel is drinking an SMWS 8596 right now. Um, that's what is 85? I forgot. I'm not. Um, mm-mm-mm. Okay, we have to talk about that, Kevin. I hope things are all okay. Anyway, Mark JG's in. You're not too late, babe. We just got going. So let us know what you might be drinking tonight. So I would say probably I'm 60% open, 40 closed, 40 still sealed, which I don't think it was that bad because when I started this, I was like, oh man, I probably have like 25 or 30% open. But when I started doing the math and I went through my spreadsheet, because we all got a spreadsheet. So I started going through that. I realized that I wasn't near as bad as I thought I was. But when I started looking at the bottles, I'm like, I can't believe that I have not opened that one. And there's a couple of different situations as you know why we maybe put that off or kind of the psychology behind not opening those bottles. And part of this is like having that ritual or that anticipation of something really, really big and really fancy, or for a special occasion, kind of you want to really savor it. And this first one I'm going to open because I'm going to open it, y'all. And I mean, it's nothing really precious, but it's going to be this Daft Mill. Let me do that. There we go. So this is the 2009, the summer batch, 2009. I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure is there a date code? I don't think they do date codes there on the farm. um, so it was filled in June, July 2009. Okay, so this I was talking to Jennifer about this earlier. I got this bottle in New Orleans. Mark and I were down for my company Christmas party in New Orleans 4 years ago. four. I'm confessing tonight. 4 years ago, it was my Christmas bottle. It was my Christmas present to myself because there are no Daft Mill. I mean, finding a Daft Mill in Louisiana is, like a unicorn. It's not a unicorn bottle. It's not that I mean, as Rose is not that precious. I mean, this was a pretty well-known and available thing, but it's the only Daft Mill that I had. Um, and as you can see, it is sealed. 4 years later, almost 5, because it's 2021 when it happened, and we're opening it. So this is my first one. So 85 is Glen Elgin. Okay. Okay, it's done. It's done. Oh my gosh. So part of that is, that ritual and nice sound. I hope y'all got that. So we're all having neck pours tonight, basically, right? And I've had a Daft Mill before, and I may even had this. So that's the other thing. If you have a bottle and you've had a taste of something and you decide you don't want to open your bottle because you've already had a taste of it and you've got other things to do. It's so bright and there's definitely a little funk in there. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute because this is just 46%. Like I said, it's not like a single cask or anything um super super special, but it wasn't cheap. And like I said, it was at kind of a bougie uh, liquor store down in New Orleans in the warehouse district. Oh wow, boy, that drink's hot for 46. But again, it's a neck pour, but super sweet, kind of orchardy fruit. Got a little pepper, a little spice and kick to that. Mm, I'm loving it. It's pretty cool. Um, so so here's another one. So you haven't opened any of your Springbank bottles that you blended yourself at the Barley to Bottle tour. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I have. Someday, your fear is that you're someday and that you die before you open it. That would be a nightmare. So that's a big part of it because that fear. Is it more though, Daniel, because you're afraid that you open it, you'll drink it, and then you don't have it anymore? Because that's a biggie. I mean, for my birthday this past November, Jennifer sent me a sample of her bottle she did while she was at Springbank School. I sent her, that was the first time I cracked my bottle open. And that was a year and a half after I blended it. And so I sent, her my sample. And that kind of exchange was really cool. Be happy to send you a sample of mine if you want to crack yours open and send me one. I mean, it's that kind of thing where you can share the appreciation of that experience because that's part of why that bottle's so precious, right? Because you were in that lab with all the different types of cask strength whiskey and you're sitting there trying to come up with the way you want yours to taste and having that time to be able to relive that for yourself is enough. But it's also fun to be able to share it with someone who may have had that. And that's what we ended up doing for my birthday because my birthday was on election day. And by God, we were going to have some Springbank on my birthday. So I totally get you, friend. I totally do. So Ian has a family cask. Ew, those Glenfarclas family casks are crazy. Um, and you wish you could open your gorgeous wife. I love that. Of course she is. Believes that you should keep it and sell it. So that's one of those things. If there's some that are so rare that you could really get some bank off of it, I could understand that. For me, a 1991 would really be something that was the year Mark and I got married. So I, I could see being able to that bottle I would have opened and that would be something we would have every year for our anniversary. That's for sure. Something like that. Sugar Kitty's in. Hey, good to see you. Um, mm-mm. So Bobby's opening bottles and taking names. Look at this. So the Ardbeg Eureka and the Supernova, and you're opening the 19 batch 5 and 6 tomorrow. Wow, it was an Ardbeg week. Oh, love it, absolutely love it. And I'm very sorry that it's on your side of the river now. I'm really sorry. Hey, James is in. Good to see you. Um, yeah, so another one is, analysis paralysis. I'm so guilty of this. And I just think, it's hard to decide what to open now, so nothing gets opened. You start looking at that and go, oh, well, I just want a quick dram. So I'm just going to go to something that's already open. I think part of it too is, as the point that Ian made, there's perceived value, that some of these bottles are just are investments, or they're just too special to open, or that you're going to wait for that perfect occasion, um, which may not happen. It really may not. The the too special, or the investment is something, because it that really does depend on what your prerogative is. Is it to keep it as an investment, or is it to enjoy the whiskey and be able to commune with it? um I know, like, the fear of missing out, that whole FOMO is probably the worst offender of most all of us. Because if I drink it, I won't have it anymore. You know, when it's gone, it's gone. And this is especially on it's things that are like a limited edition or discontinued bottles. Mm. So over this shoulder and down on the bottom, tucked away so I don't look at it. Then I have an Old Pulteney 17 and a 21. And those I think I got for Christmas. They came from friends that found them in Tennessee. Um, and Katie Turk's usually gone at times, so she and Ethan are the ones that found those for me. But yeah, I mean, those, when they're gone, they're gone. I mean, it used to be you could pick them up and you could find some other ones, but I don't want to open them yet because I'm afraid they'll be going. And I have quite a few open, and I mean, when I can get Kevin corrupted enough to come over, but there's not a whole lot of people locally to be able to say, all right, let's do Scotch night, or let's do this. I mean, people are so busy. There's a robust bourbon group in town, but it's still, you know, not a lot of Scotch folks still. So uh, having the occasion of doing that, the show is the main reason I open bottles, to be perfectly honest. And because of that, and being able to taste and do reviews, or something like that, that gets me opening a bottle faster than anything. Those Old Pulteney bottles are a big example. Older bottles I have of Aaron's. I have a 14 and an 18 Aaron. Again, we're not talking about some rare, vintage or bottling that was done on a full moon, and, King Charles went, there you go. We're not talking about anything really, really fancy. But I'm just saying things that, you're not going to be able to find those again. Those, shout out to my buddy Zach, who turned that Aaron 14 into a cult favorite for mine. And I think I've had 2 whole bottles, did a review on it, and just absolutely adore that bottle. And it's my last one, so I'm not gonna open it right now. So there's those. I have a couple of bottles that are signed. I have a bottle, again, nothing too precious, but it's signed. It's a Clydeside bottling. They're single cask bottling, and it's signed by the distiller and by Tim Morrison, who is an icon of whiskey and Scotch. So that kind of thing I think is there. So that fear of missing out, of like, if I drink it, it's gone. That's a big one. In my case, I've tasted all of it, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on those right now. But I feel like I would miss out if I opened it up and started drinking it. So anyway, that's my confession for that. Mm, 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 mm. Um, Ian said that he has finished a Hanfield Glengarry Vintage 2000. Wow. You got part of your birthday from your sister. Best thing you did was open it, share it, finishing it with a good friend, Absolutely. Absolutely. Kevin handed me when I say Kevin, BR Scotch, Kevin gave me the end of a Brewer 34, I want to say it was, Kevin, way back in the day. And we killed it. And I say we because Jennifer and I were sitting at the end of the dock at the camp and polished that sucker off. And that was great. I still have the bottle at the camp just because every time I look at it, I go, oh man, not, oh, I wish I had that again. The liquid. If I wish anything, it was, I wish my buddy was sitting at the end of the dock with me, having that dram or a dram. It brought back the experience that I had when we had that dram. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Um, Open them up because you still have the passion, and crazy bottles will continue to show up. That's a good point, Kevin, because stuff will still come up. And and Kevin encounters crazy bottles. We did those two videos of whiskey from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We did another one that was all closed distilleries, and he happens upon some fantastic bottles, and he drinks them. And I'm glad he likes me enough to share with me, because he's shared, remainder bottles that are, some of them are still there because I haven't drunk them all. So he might quit doing that if you knew it. But yeah, it's really important to do that, right? Try to get in there. And I think too, well, let's get back to some of the comments. So Bobby's talking about, he understands this when you open everything you buy and pour a dram right away. That zeroes out the collector bottle, yep, and makes the bottle able to be shared with friends. Absolutely, it's just literally rip the Band-Aid off and do that. This Daffodil is opened up quite a bit just sitting here. Have any of y'all had this one? That 2009 summer batch? Mm. And I will say, since I've kind of been on my health kick, I am not drinking as much as I was. So that's the other reason I have stalled opening anything new, because I know it's going to be open for a while too. And like even when I went to Scotland in March, I took a couple of bottles over to share with people, but I took a slew, probably like 2-gallon bags of samples, and just handed samples out. I handed samples out to the people that did our tours at the distilleries and people at the festival and stuff, of stuff that I know they couldn't get, like our Louisiana rice whiskey and some of the Andalusia and things like that I knew that people couldn't get over there. Just so I could share some of the stuff that I have, because it is so much more fun to share. Really, really, really is. Hey, Ray's in. Hello. So you have a few opened, but delayed gratifications with it too. Yeah, my problem is it gets delayed and delayed and delayed, and then I'm thinking, well, I've waited all this time. Surely I can't open this now, because it's just a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. We're opening bottles. We made it to Tuesday. Some weeks that is a feat in and of itself, right? Sugar Kitty's saying, yeah, you still have a little bit of that Aaron 14. That was so good. It is so good. Oh, Springbank 12 cast drinks, another hard one for Daniel. Yep, I get it. Only one of those, but another full bottle on deck. Oh, it's irrational to not have that last dram from bottle 1, but that means opening bottle 2 is inevitable. And yeah, it's a bit cringe. I mean, you have your cringe emoji there, and that is it, because you're thinking, for something like that, and I get that if I kill this bottle, yeah, I got to back up, but that means, do I have to? That's why I am on the 14. I milked that one bottle of 14, Aaron 14, to where it was probably close to being oxidized if I left it anymore. I think I ended up actually putting it in some sample bottles just so I could kill the bottle off and preserve, the whiskey a little bit better. And then I just really got stingy on the new bottle and haven't gone there yet. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Um, so what has been, oh, great question. What has been a surprise bottle opened recently that you were skeptical about when you bought it? Ooh, that's a good one for the whole class to answer. Um, I actually, I think, oh, let me think. I'm gonna have to think about that. Oh, I know what it was. It was actually, so Tomatin did this series of different sherries, like a Fino and, um, I think a Fino, PX, an Oloroso, and I want to say a Macchiato or I'm trying to think what that third one was. And and I opened one of those because they were kind of like standard releases. They weren't anything really fancy. But I was like, yeah, because I wanted that particular sherry. It was the only bottle I had of it. And I was very pleasantly surprised. It was very nice. You know? Very nice. Um Rob hasn't had a daft meal yet. We'll have to help you with that. Hey Vicky, good to see you. Yes, Mark's doing dog duty because of the storms. I hope you're doing well. Um, so I have, oh, look at me. I have guilted you, guilted you as if, Tom, as if into a Bree Brown cow electric coup. Ah, I saw brown and I thought it was little brown dog at first. Okay, so wee brown cow electric coup. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Give us a report if I'm gonna guilt you into doing this. I need the full report on how that was. Um, uh, is there a store in the U.S. that purchases bottles that who open the bottles on purchase? Oh, um, I don't. Yeah, generally, if you buy it, I guess you could open it in the store, but um, some stores have some open, but depending on what it is, they wouldn't necessarily open it up for you. Um, goodness. So, you need to get a sample of the first American single malt that was under the new TTB designation. Wow. So you did a single barrel, the first release, and the distillery is in my backyard. Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that. Yeah, yeah, we'll have to talk about that. You know it. Last what was that? I guess almost 3 weeks ago. That was it the 15th? What day was that? So Mark Broda and Drew Bills from Scotch for Dummies were on the 18th. Oh, that was March. Let me go back to April. Yeah, the 15th. They were on the show and we did a whole thing on American single malts. If you missed that, Bobby, but yeah, some really good ones. They were picking some really good ones. I'd love to talk to y'all more about any American single malt y'all are thinking about doing for the club. Mm, for sure. Oh, Vicky, I hope y'all are doing okay with the weathers too. And look at my friend, my friend. Hey, straight off of this Bayside Festival, all of us living vicariously through his Facebook posts is Graham Fraser. Hello, my friend. We're talking about opening bottles. So you'll have to let us know which bottle you have opened. I've not opened your, speaking of, your Thompson Brothers that you gave me in March. And I'm trying to see what category of psychology here that I'm using as my excuse. So I'll have to get back with you on that. Um, So Sugar Kitty, thank you for that info. So the Wee Brune Coup, the Ween Brune Coup, not seen it in the US. No. Something we have to order, of course. Um, but yeah, so I'll have to dig into that a little bit more. I have to think about that. So I have a couple more. Um, I'm enjoying the staff meal, but I want to open a couple. So I have two more that are not peated. Um, and so we'll kind of see where we are on the chat and y'all can tell me. So this one I think I want to do. This is deceptively dangerous. 113.52. Oh, sorry. Let me get back behind it. There we go. And this is a 12-year-old Speyside, but it's a refill ex bourbon hogshead. I have that one, and then I have an unpeated Rassay. That's ex Bordeaux cask. So unpeated. So this bottle I bought on the way to Austin Blanco, Texas last year, to help the Scotch for Dummies bottle their first American single malt pick at Andalusia. And we didn't open it that night. We had we hit the Dune Canna really hard. So I haven't opened this one, and I can't even tell you how long I've had this SMWS. And it is US. Yeah, it's not one I brought back from Scotland. And it's at 63.9. Let's do this one. Y'all want to do this one? We'll try it. The tasting notes are: we opened a can of rhubarb drink before eating dangerously deceptive chocolate chili fudge, diluted cream horns, and spicy cashew nuts. So, again, it's sealed. Here we go. Sealed. So here we go. Eek, 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 eek. Done. Cap off. This is in the trying to remember which one. What is this profile? Is it sweet? I should know that. So for those that are local, so I'll say BR Scotch. I know you aren't able to because you've got things. Bobby, if you want to come to New Orleans, June 1st, I'm doing the June Outturn tasting in New Orleans. For SMWS. I'm so excited to do that. Tickets are available. I'll put them in the link to those tickets in the description and in the comments. Actually, that'd be easier. But yeah, I'm looking really excited to do that. Mark Broda hosted one last night in Indianapolis. I love how SMWS are going out beyond the major cities to try to get more exposure to the society, to the offerings it makes. And we're thrilled to have one down here in New Orleans. And I am tickled pink that they asked me to be the one to present it. So we're going to pour this one. Again, this is deceptively. So 113 is, I can never pronounce it. I'm going to butcher it. And if Graham wasn't on, I wouldn't worry about it. But let's see. Yes. And let's see. That is it Braeball? Braeval. Oh man, it's got really nice. very hearty, not it's earthy, but not peat earth, like savory kind of smell. Mm, mm, mm. I have messed up all the. Let me look. Let me look. I missed so many comments. Um, mm-mm. So James is talking about you think Little Brown Dog and what whiskey? Um, Campbelltown. Mm, that's really that was a match made in heaven. Both of those were Little Brown Dog and What Whiskey were both at the festival. Pretty cool. That's what you think the weed brewing coup is? Oh, wow. So the one that Tom is having tonight is from What Whiskey. Okay. Lemony, buttery, tart, vibrant, fizzy. Ooh, 58.8 ABV. This one's got 5 more on it. Oof. Mm. So the first bottle from that you bought at the Space Side was that Craigality 17-year-old single cask exclusive. Oh, dude, I can't even imagine how fabulous that was. Look, and good for you. You look like you had a blast, and I appreciate you posting so much just so we could see what you were doing. This is got like a it's awfully figgy smelling, like earthy and figgy for a bourbon cask. Wow, super sweet. I definitely get the chocolates and the chilies, and it's almost like an Anaheim chili. Again, a little earthy green, big chocolate on the back end with the wow, big time with the finish. I'm gonna let this one sit too, and I got a little bit of water. Maybe we'll add to that in a second. That's pretty surprising. It is that sweet profile, but wow, wow, it is dangerously deceptive. You get in trouble with this one. Uh, um, let's see. First bottle. So Kevin's saying if you haven't opened any of our bottles slips from your last trip, do it. So we are actually. So you and I went in. There's those Deanson bottles, and in 2 weeks, Rick Johnson, Whiskey Zone, he was spent the whole day, and his wife spent the whole day with our crew. Um, Actually, I think I was the interloper on that trip, just tagging along. When we went and did Whiskey Monday with Peter and Denise Lee, and went to Deanston, and so I am cracking those bottles open for in 2 weeks to do that show, and that's going to be epic. Super excited about that one. Mm, yep. Um, Goodness gracious, looking at all the great comments. Oh, the distillery Acadienne in New Iberia was the first ever approved label under the new rule. Wow, that's really cool. I remember when you said you were going to New Iberia, but I didn't realize they were the first of all of them. That's fantastic. Yes, that would be great. Um, So, great. So, Tom, I saw those pics, Tom. You did the May out turn with SNWS. Um, yeah, pricing is going to be interesting, especially with the way the industry is going. It's going to be crazy. So this Brave I know I probably butchered it, but phonetically in U.S. English, that would be Brave. So you visited it last week for the first time, and of uh, the number of distilleries you've been able to go to is amazing. But they make okay, so their whiskey goes into Chivas Regal blend. Interesting. Okay. Mm. Yes, it's sweet. It's calmed down a little bit since it's opened up. Again, new bottle situation, right? Uh, and it's almost got kind of like a burnt sugar that the chocolate's gone more burnt sugar now. Mm, mm. Um, okay, so you're gonna be up at the Crittenden's distillery in a couple of weeks and doing some blending. Oh my goodness, y'all are having so much fun. Jimmy's cracking open his 11337, picking fruit from an oak tree. Uh, Fantastic. Same distillery. Uh, Earlier cask. Yum. Let us know what you think about that. Very cool. So, what's so I think probably mm, the longest isn't 4 years. There's probably I probably have something that's older than that that I haven't opened that I've had longer than 4 years that I haven't opened. Um, you know, I don't know. Has anybody ever opened one and then regretted it? It seems like once you got it open, you just kind of make peace with it and enjoy it, share it, and all those kind of things. But we all know that it's not going to age any longer in the bottle, right? Um, Life is short. Enjoy it and share it. That experience is where the value is. And yes, there are some big bottles that might can pay your mortgage one day, or pay your kids' school books for school or something like that. But those aren't usually the bottles that we buy to drink. So if you have a happy if you get a happy situation where you can take advantage of that, sure, go ahead. But there's other ones. It's there. I love how people say, well, it's not artwork. It's not to be admired on the wall. It's to be drunk and not dusted. Well, you could plant all of these that I pulled. You could have planted the spring crop in with the amount of dust that they had on them. But that's a whole other thing. I need to dust everything. But yeah, just um, it is what it is. It's time to celebrate that journey, and a lot of these you may chase. And I know, Kevin, I wouldn't say that you chase bottles. I think you hunt them very well. But you once you get it, you aren't sitting there holding it like my precious. You're cracking it open and you're sharing it, because I've been the recipient of a lot of those unbelievable drams. So um so here we go. Here's our nugget of history on Brayval. Was originally the Brays of Glenlivet Distillery, and then Glenlivet complained, as one would do. Yep. Uh, wow. Okay. Very cool. So how about regrets? About regrets. Let's see. Uh, Kevin has no regrets. No regrets. Get that tattooed on your neck, boo. No regrets. Let's see. And Jimmy Jazz says, no regrets. Regret buying? Yes. Regret opening? No. Regret buying? Yeah. I think we've all had those, right? Sometimes maybe I should. I bought it and I opened it, and now I do regret it. Yeah. Um, and again, so a Calumet 14 should have let it go and passed it along. Yeah. Sometimes. Mm, regretted a bottle that you opened? Yes, definitely. Um, And I think more of that. Oh, now I opened it. Now I've ruined it, or I'm not going to be able to. I don't have the high of opening it again. I don't know. It seems like once you've made that commitment, it's just good to go, right? Um, that's for sure. So James is talking about tours of U.S. distilleries. Could you put in a good word for the cognac process of adding water to a barrel and using it after time to dilute their stock? Huh. Well, I don't know if I follow you completely, James, but I do know like Still Austin adds water to their barrels as they're going to help with that. So I think some distilleries still do it. And that isn't a surprise when you think, and I don't know if Virginia Distillery does it. Still, Austin definitely does because Miss Cognac, Nancy Fraley, is their main blender and guru, and she's cognac. She's got a cognac background, so that's definitely something that they do there. Um, Anthony, hey, all right. Looks like you married up. Wife's pouring a surprise pour for you to guess. That's awesome. That's the best way to drink it, I think. And no no preconceived ideas. You just get to enjoy it and think about it, all the things. So Rob just opened up a Compass Box cast strength peat monster that you bought 2 years ago and gave yourself a healthy pour. Absolutely fantastic. So over this shoulder, it's about 6 Compass Boxes that still aren't open. I think that's where I gave myself such a bad rap. I was like, and I have one of those same bottles. Need to do something about it. And I think I have 2 more in the bar. So yeah, maybe we'll need to have a Compass Box open night again as well. Yikes. Yeah. I'm trying, y'all. I really am. I'm trying. Um mm-mm. Let's see what else is going on. Da-da-da-da. Okay, thanks, Bobby. That's awesome. I'll take a look. As Kevin says, there are always be bottles that you wish you had any one of, but there will always be others, and that's for sure. I mean, there's going to be some really unbelievable whiskey coming, in the future. Things are kind of weird right now with the whiskey industry, but it's been weird before. It's going to be a cycle. It's just going to do its thing, and then we'll figure it out for sure. Um, for sure. Oh, absolutely. Um, Sugar Kitty. Yep. That was just top of mind was Still Austin on that. But yeah, awesome. Um, so Jimmy Jess, you're talking about English Wireworks. They they were a big surprise for me at Glasgow Whiskey Festival a couple years ago. And that uh yeah, I was very surprised by them in a good way. Definitely so. Um don't think I've had that particular one, but I was really happy with them. Very cool. So what kind of things can we do to open up bottles? You can hope you can host a bottle opening night. That's what we're doing tonight. We're having a night where we're all getting together and we're going to open up a bottle. And I'm going to open up one more. Now we're kind of running here towards the end. And they're peated. I have a Lafroig 10 sherry cask. I think I got this at Specs in Texas a long time ago. That's at 48 ABV. This might be the worst as I hide behind the bottle is when someone gives you a bottle and you haven't opened it. That's probably a big sin. So this might be the one I need to open because a dear friend, Chad Anderson, gave me this bottle. I think it was It's a seasonal release from 2022 that he gave me in Victoria Whiskey Festival. And so, yeah, that made my mind up. The other one that I have is that I really do need to do this is a bourbon version of the 8 Kilkerran Light. I have, I have some of the sherries open in backup bottles, but yeah. Anyway, so let's do this Glen Scotia because someone giving you a bottle, you open the damn bottle and you enjoy it, right? So I am woefully awful. Y'all getting all my confessions here as they go into the conclave. uh, let's see. That sounded good. So, that doesn't look clean. There we go. And it even has because it even has the UK sticker on it. So you know it's not US. Okay. And this one is, wait for it, Amontillado sherry cast strength at 53.3, 12 years. What the hell was I waiting for? I mean, really. Oh, Daniel, I I love a Kelpie, and that is actually a bottle that I need to eventually chase and get down for myself. And I probably would open it. My dear friend Jennifer has one, and she has threatened to open it, and I keep telling her no, 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 no. But yes, that's definitely one that I do not have. I have a sample bottle of Kelpie, and that's good for me right now, but eventually I would like to get a bottle of that, which I know is stupid because it's harder and harder to find. And when I do get it, I will open that because gosh, just so, and I will find some oysters to pour it in, just like I did on Isla. Mm. Oh, you can't run from Glen Scotia Spirit, man. It just, I, it's just so Glen Scotia. Mm, my happy place. um, See there, I'm not the only perp. You're starting to open bottles you bought 10 and 15 years ago to share to see, and with friends at tastings you attend. That's the perfect way to do it. Yeah. And then you get a third of the bottle, you're finishing it yourself later. It's much more manageable, especially when you have so many, because I mean the longer they're open, the more they need to be drunk, right? So that's very generous from a very generous soul called Graham, because we all know how lovely you are. Um, well, you could, so hosting a bottle open night, you can have a calendar, say every month you're going to open a specific type, um, or a specific day for your birthday, for different things, for occasions, open it up. Maybe have like a themed thing and say, I'm going to open up 3 bottles from Isla and do a comparison and kind of make a game out of it, do a thing just like what Graham is. You open it up and then you share it with people. I'm purposely going to taste this one, but I want to share it. I'm going to pour 10 samples out or 5 samples out, and then I have the bottle and we're good to go. So yeah, being able to celebrate something that's just ordinary too. But golly, this has got this Amontillado is kind of nutty with like a maple syrup. Mm. Oh, this makes me happy. Glad I opened this one up. Yay. So like Jimmy said he enjoyed, opening up a sample of Wireworks the night before the Glasgow Whiskey Festival. Good stuff, just amazing. You have that, and you have like a core memory of where it came from, right? I mean, just I love how that works. Um, and look at this. We each need a bottle buddy. We'll share our inventory list, and once a month, your bottle buddy selects something that you have to go and open. I love it. That is awesome. Tom, you want to be my bottle buddy? I'll get my spreadsheet ready for you. That'd be great. I love it. And there you go. When you run into somebody that you travel into your area, invite them to come up for a pour. I mean, that's how you win lots of friends. Um, yes, we did have Kelpie that night. We did at the Curly Coo. Absolutely, we did. I try to get it every time I can, because I know there ain't no mo, you know. Um, interesting, y'all. Well, this has been fun. I hope you got to open something fun tonight, and make some memories with your bottle. And maybe now that it's open, you can say, "Hey, oh, I think such and such would like this," or next time I see so I'm gonna have a sample of it for them. I'm gonna go see a doctor tomorrow that not my doctor, but it's the same group, and I'll probably my doctor that's in that group. I'm probably going to take a sample to him because I know he likes whiskey, and he would love this Glen Scotia. So I'll probably pour Dr. Fontenot one of those. Um, but yeah, it's meant to be enjoyed and not sit lonely on the shelf. I need to be kinder to my bottles and open things up for sure. Um, and make sure that I can share them with folks that would also enjoy them for sure. I know we've got Mother's Day's coming up this weekend. And so, for all those moms out there, dog mom here will be celebrating with my mom. But I also know it's a really tough time for a lot of people because you may not have your mom anymore. And two of really great friends have lost theirs this week. And so I want to end on just doing a toast for our friends Mike and for Zach, who both have lost their moms this week, and let them know that we love them and that we are thinking of them. And cheers to their moms because they both raised two really good guys, and I'm lucky to have either one of them as friends. So cheers and God bless. Mm. And in 2 weeks, Rick's going to be here. We're going to be doing a reliving tale of our time in Deanston. I know I've done Deanston before. I had to tell you all about mine and Graham's trip to Deanston in 2023. I mean, no, it was, yeah, 23 in November. Um, and it's that plus six more people. And some different casts. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Rick was a hoot at the tour because he got to draw from one of the casks, and for our friends that know Sean from Scotch for Dummies, and you understand what a Sean pour is, not a pour, but a Sean pour. That's what Rick did out of his 1998 cask. They made no money on us in the warehouse tasting that day for sure. But we'll talk more about that on in 2 weeks. And I think that's the 20th. I can't do math. 14 days from now. Yeah, the 20th. But yeah, guys, thanks for being here on a Tuesday. Make me open 3 bottles tonight, y'all. That's epic for me. And I truly do appreciate all the support and all the camp drummers that are in here, and the patrons that are here that help support all that we are doing. We're doing everything we can to get back for that Glasgow Whiskey Festival this year. So I hope y'all have a great couple of weeks. be here in 2 weeks where we talk about all things Deanston. And until then, have a great time. I'm so glad we still have electricity. I'm going to go check on my dog, and I'll see you on the 20th. Sandra, y'all.